Have you ever wondered how cheaply society defines success? How money, job titles, and brand names are treated as the final proof of achievement? You land a job at a Fortune 500 company, and suddenly you're applauded, validated, accepted. Meanwhile, a man who's been fighting to become a world-class artist since childhood, a man who pours his soul into creation, spends years mastering his craft, gets ignored. Why? Because his path didn't fit the template. Because he didn't chase the crown they sold. That's where the Sigma male lives in rebellion, not as a king who plays by the system's rules, but as a killer of lies, a strategist, a silent force who doesn't sit on a throne, but builds the war room underground. Sigma males don't want titles. They don't want applause. They want power, real, raw, earned power. Not the kind handed out by gatekeepers, but the kind forged in silence, chaos, and clarity. This is why Sigma males reject the throne, because the crown was never the goal, it was always the distraction. Let's break it down. 1. The throne is a trap. Why Sigmas refuse the crown. Society hands out crowns to obedient men, those who toe the line, say the right things, and dress up their silence in suits. The corporate puppet in a high-rise office is celebrated as a king. The man who bought into the dream and gave up his soul for a title is applauded, but the Sigma sees through it. He knows the throne is a leash wrapped in velvet. It's not power, it's performance. He doesn't want a crown that can be revoked by public opinion. He wants leverage, strategy, and control. Not offered, taken. A throne makes you public property. Your image becomes a prison. Sigma doesn't need anyone to see him on a golden chair. He needs to move in darkness and make decisions that shake structures. Kings are chosen. Sigmas build their position through fire and isolation. While kings need ceremonies, the Sigma needs clarity, and clarity always lives far from the throne. 2. Kings need the court. Sigmas walk alone. Look around. People treat approval like oxygen. They can't breathe unless someone claps for them. Kings need validation ministers, followers, fanboys. But the Sigma male, he operates in complete autonomy. He doesn't need groupthink or a support system to stand tall. His spine is built from failure. His confidence isn't given, it's built in solitude. Society sees isolation as punishment. Sigmas use it as fuel. The court is dependency. The Sigma is allergic to that. He doesn't want advisors whispering into his strategy. He wants silence so he can hear his instincts. He walks through fire alone because that's how you become fireproof. While kings gather men to protect their rule, Sigmas sharpen themselves into weapons. One man, no backup, all edge. 3. Power without presence, the Sigma's invisible hand. In a society obsessed with being seen, the Sigma is feared for not needing the stage. The king sits in golden halls, watched and admired but predictable, exposed. The Sigma doesn't want recognition. He wants reach. Quiet, surgical, and unseen. He manipulates systems, not spotlights. Influence without visibility. He is the reason things shift, and most never know he was there. Sigma understands something kings don't. Visibility is vulnerability. He'd rather be the ghost in the machine than the man in the frame. Why announce a move when you can make one that ends the game? Kings deliver speeches. Sigmas deliver silence that rewrites rules. Power is quiet when it's real. 4. The war room mentality, strategy over status. Society equates worth with clout. But the Sigma doesn't care if his name trends, he cares if his plan works. He wakes up thinking 5 moves ahead while others waste time chasing likes. He doesn't react to noise, he designs outcomes. Every hour is war prep. Every loss becomes intel. He doesn't play politics, he plays for keeps. Kings worry about how they look when they fail. Sigmas build failure into the blueprint. The war room isn't glamorous, it's gritty, private, and ruthless. It's not for speeches, it's for systems. While kings attend ceremonies, Sigmas attend to strategy. And in the end, strategy always outlasts status. 5. The kill switch. Detachment as power. Society says you need roots, family, friends, structure. Sigma says you need mobility. Loyalty is earned, not owed. He doesn't attach himself to people, places, or praise. And when something threatens his mission, he cuts it clean. That's not coldness. That's clarity. The Sigma doesn't cling. He exits. Swift, silent, final. That's what makes him dangerous. That's what makes him free. When kings get emotional, Sigmas get tactical. They aren't driven by guilt, they're driven by growth. They don't stay where their presence is expected, they stay where their impact is felt. If a relationship, role, or environment blocks evolution, the Sigma pulls the kill switch. No warning, no drama, just absence. 6. Weaponized intelligence, the Sigma's arsenal. Smart doesn't mean strategic. Sigma males aren't just knowledgeable, they're weaponized. Every book, betrayal, and bullet wound has been turned into data. He doesn't just think. He calculates, he decodes, and then he strikes. While others drown in theory, he's already 10 steps ahead. When he speaks, it's with precision. And when he moves, there's no debate. There's just aftermath. Sigma males know the mind is a tool or a weapon. He chooses the latter. He collects information like a sniper preparing for the perfect shot. No wasted words, no wasted effort. He doesn't argue, he executes. And when it's done, all you'll see are the results, not the planning. 7. Legacy over reign. Why Sigmas build, not rule. The world glorifies the short-term king, the flashy success story, but Sigmas don't want their name trending. They want their influence buried so deep in the foundation that the building can't stand without them. Their reward isn't fame. It's knowing the system now runs on something they created. You might forget the Sigma's name. You'll never escape what he built. Rulers fade. Systems last. Sigmas build infrastructure while kings build illusion. The Sigma's goal isn't the headline, it's the blueprint. He doesn't ask to be remembered. He ensures his work becomes inescapable, not royalty relevance. 8. The death of applause, silence as strength. We live in a time where people equate likes with love, shares with value. Sigma males vomit at that idea. He doesn't perform for applause. He performs in silence and lets results be the echo. He doesn't beg for views, he builds for impact. Others show off. Sigmas show up, quietly, consistently, and when the dust settles, they're still standing, while the clout-chasers disappear. Applause is noise. Silence is authority. While others need to be told they're great, the Sigma already knows. He doesn't post his pain, process, or progress. He turns every step into momentum and lets the silence scream results. His validation comes from execution, not eyes. 9. The killer instinct. Calm, cold, calculated. Every man has aggression, but Sigma males refine theirs into focus. They don't lash out, they lock in. They don't shout, they strike. In a room full of men trying to look tough, the Sigma's the one no one looks at, but everyone fears. Because they know when he moves, it's not emotion, it's execution. Calm isn't weakness, it's control under pressure, and control kills noise every time. The Sigma's killer instinct isn't reactive, it's predictive. He doesn't wait to get triggered, he already ran the simulation. While kings crumble under pressure, Sigmas thrive in it. His calm isn't softness, it's silence before a perfect storm. 10. No throne, no chains. The Sigma's final freedom. The throne is a trophy for men who still want approval. The Sigma doesn't need it. He doesn't want the weight of tradition, expectation, or visibility. He wants results, leverage, and the ability to burn everything down and start again alone if he has to. He doesn't serve legacy, he serves evolution, not to be remembered, but to be unbreakable. True power isn't inherited, it's created, and then it's guarded by distance, discipline, and detachment. The Sigma doesn't ask for a crown, he builds a war machine, one that outlasts, outperforms, and outmaneuvers every fragile king who stood in the spotlight. On a final note, the world built a throne to keep you chasing a shiny trap meant to keep your head high and your soul leashed. It told you to follow the script, climb the ladder, polish your mask, and smile for applause. But the Sigma ripped that throne out of the ground, lit it on fire, and walked away while they watched in confusion. He doesn't want to be seen. He wants to be sovereign, not worshipped but untouchable, not crowned but in complete command. He doesn't sit, he moves. He doesn't reign, he strikes. He doesn't need permission, he takes position. While kings wait for legacy, the Sigma writes war plans. While rulers play politics, the Sigma builds pressure. While others beg for a seat at the table, he tears it down and rebuilds the entire room. The system wasn't broken for him. It was never designed for him in the first place. He doesn't adapt to it. He reprograms it. He doesn't climb ranks. He redefines them. No kings, no courts, no permission, just killers, just architects, just men who never needed a crown to reshape the kingdom. And the terrifying part? They never see him coming. They only realize once it's too late. And by then, he's already built the next empire in silence.